Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Skyrim Modded, and we're playing Special Edition, and I just was doing a little bit of exploring, and I just saw that elk standing up there, and I haven't seen any other elk in this area, or deer, or anything. So, if we are careful, and we don't startle that guy, maybe he'll stand still just long enough for us to get off a shot. And he's on the run. Oh wow. There's no way I'm gonna catch that guy. It's a long shot. I can't tell if I'm shooting over him or what from here. I'm just gonna try to move in a little. Keep running out of stamina. There he is. Got him. Excellent. Let us see if we can whistle for Maximus. There he is. Oh, that's not Maximus. That guy came out of nowhere. That one's gone. No way I'm gonna catch that. Any hoozle. Yay, there's our horse. Let's head down here and see what we can do. Now, we leveled up in the previous episode. We leveled up our skinning a little bit. Is this guy toying with me or what? Let's see if we can run him down. Come on, Maximus. Get up, boy. Man, they are fast, aren't they? Got him. Got him. Alright, well, we'll see if we can, let's see if we can do something with this guy first, since we're here, and then we'll go back and get our first one. Elk hide, so it's not a poor one, which is great, and we got a little bit more experience. Excellent. And then now let's go see, where did that other one go? Because I kind of ran this one all over the place. Love this area up here, though. It's really beautiful. Where did that other one go? He's down in a low spot. There he is. Alright, let us see how we do here. Got an arrow back. How are we doing on the hide? Yeah, we got a skinning skill increase, and we got a elk hide. Good. I'm just glad to see that it's not a poor one again, or neither one of those were poor. A few of those goats that we were skinning the other day, they ended up being poor hides, but it's still good to use them to gain experience from. So I'm not disappointed too much by that. So let's ride back over to the mine, and let me show you what I got set up. I did a little bit more work on the blacksmithing setup over by the left-hand mine, and did just a little bit of decoration to decorate the place up a little bit and make it feel a little more like home. One of the things that I was trying to accomplish was that whenever I'm out there doing something in the evening, I definitely want to be able to work. And it was so dark, there's really no lights much in this area. So let's hop off here and I'll just show you what I did. So in the last episode we set up a grindstone right over here, and what I've done is I added a little bit of fire underneath here just for aesthetics, and I put a brazier thingy in here, and it makes the fire look a little more interesting. But I added a just go into first person. I added a hides, leather, and wood crate, and then down here we have ores and ingots, and I gave us a little candle lantern here, so in the evening time we'll still be able to work. And then I put a couple of candles on our tanning rack, and a horn candle over here on our bench. So in the daytime it's great. In the evening time it's great also, because we still have light out here. Now I did add these items. They don't give off light, even though they are animated and they look great. They don't give off light. So I just wanted to show you guys real quick. With the Jaxonz Positioner, there is that's not how you get there. If you go into the mod config for Jaxonz, there are some advanced options, and one of them is make lights visible and selectable. So you just select that and then tab back out, and it takes just a moment, and you'll see right here this little chorus egg is actually a model that represents the light that's over here in this area. So there's one here, there's one above the tanning rack, and there's one right over here above the anvil. This one is a little bit different. This one is one of those, so these lights are they're just a solid light source. They're not dynamic at all, and then I added one dynamic light source to the smelter with the fire here, so it looks really cool in the evening. So let me go ahead and turn these lights back off, the models anyway. I'll make them invisible again, and then I'll show you what it looks like out here at night. Alright guys, we're back, and I just waited. It's evening time now, and as you can see, we have lights out here. So here's the dynamic light, and it actually moves around and casts a shadow. So I think that's a pretty cool effect. It just adds a little bit of something to the area, and then you can see that we have light over here, even in the pitch black nighttime, so that we can still use our anvil. And the candles look pretty cool, I think. And this is a little bit bright, but you're not able to adjust the level of it. I could move it up higher, but I thought if I have the two candles here, it makes sense that there be plenty of light here. And then that other light source is lighting up our workbench, and I think that looks pretty cool. The only other thing really was the addition of the Imperial banner, and you know, I like the idea that we're an Imperial. I've never played as an Imperial race before. So I'm thinking, you know, we got the Imperial saddle on Maximus over here, and I thought it would be pretty cool if we sported our Imperial insignia whenever we have a chance to, because we're proud to be Imperial. We're proud to be from Cyrodiil, and we're happy to be here in Skyrim. And now we have a nice place to do our crafting, and I even have some hides and stuff in here. So let me grab some animal fat and a couple of these poor hides. We'll turn those into leather strips. And let me grab same thing with the wolf pelts. And you know what? We'll just go ahead and we're going to turn all of these hides, if we have enough fat, that is. We're going to turn all of these hides into leather and leather strips. So first of all, I want to make sure we don't accidentally use our good hides for strips. So let's go ahead and get rid of these poor hides by turning those into leather strips. And we've got 2 more of those, and then we've got 2 of the poor wolf pelts. Okay, and then the rest we're going to turn into leather. And for this for the hunting and things like that, you actually have to use animal fat. Or I think there's another, you can use tree bark, I believe. Let me see if I can find the other leathers. Here we go. Yeah, so you can use animal fat or you can use tree bark. But we're getting animal fat from the animals that we're hunting, so we're going to use that for the time being. So we've got it takes 2 goat hides to make a leather and an animal fat. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So 2 goat hides and then 2 goat hides. So we got 2 leather there. And then for the elk hides, let's see, it takes 2 animal fat. And then for the wolf pelts, it takes 1 animal fat. Real quick though, I just want to take a look. The ones that are not poor, I just wanted to look at the value. So yeah, we did the option so that we have more valuable pelts, so that hunting can actually be something that you can do that makes a viable living. So selling pelts. But for us right now, we're more concerned with the fact that we're going to need leather. And so let's, I'm going to go ahead and make all of those into leather regardless of the value. So the elk hides actually yield us 2 leather each. So those are pretty good. And then the one more that we have left now is the wolf pelt. Alright, so let's take a look real quick and see what else we can make. I have, just from doing a little bit of exploring, I found a few empty water skins already. So I think I have already like 3 or 4 water skins. And that's plenty to last us like forever until we get to a new another water source. So something that we might need coming up pretty soon, I might look into a tent. So it looks like we might need to make some of these fur plates if we want to make a small tent and bedroll. So let's see, how do we make fur plate? Fur plate is made from, we can make a fur plate from a goat hide, but we actually need quite a few of them. So let's see, is there any other recipes? You probably need to make them from hides. It's kind of like the difference between making leather and making rawhide. So yeah, so a hide can go right into becoming a plate, and then the lace is turning the fur plate into lace if we need to. So let me go back up here again and see. So we've got tents, we've got backpacks as well. These ones are kind of rough looking, I think. There's other backpacks that are a little more nice looking. So now I'm just noticing here, it looks like we can actually craft light armor pieces. Excuse me. It looks like we can actually craft light armor pieces that are blacksmith's apron and blacksmith's shoes. I didn't know you could do that. I'm just noticing this now. And they have the same armor rating that we gave them, but perhaps if we did this, they may be able to be tempered, so we might be able to upgrade them. I'm not 100% sure about that, but that's really cool, just noticing that you can do that with there's the shoes and the aprons. Now I'm hoping that these aren't showing up just because we made one. I'd hate to make another one of these, and because look at all of that leather that's going to take to do that. We don't even have enough, even with what we just made. Nails and firewood and 3 leather. So yeah, I don't think so. I don't think this is the same as what we did when we did the lazy item edit in the very beginning. So I might experiment with that on a like a test character first and see if that's temperable or not. Otherwise, I know there is some other clothing that counts as light armor. So let me look at type here and see. If we just scroll down, we should be able to see everything that will come up as light armor. Would that be feet, head, leather, miscellaneous, body, type? It should show up, shouldn't it? As oh no, it just says body. But we can tell that it's light armor over here with these symbols. So let's see, we've got a leather doublet. That's another piece of light armor that we can make just with leather. That requires ancient Nord armor, and we don't have any of that for sure. Or leather armor and linen wrap. So we might have to go and see if we could find that somewhere to see what that leather doublet looks like. I'm not opposed to making things, and even if we don't like them, because we can always sell them later. And with the market stall, we'll be able to sell them for quite a bit of money. Let's look and see, is there any more? So this looks like you can make some, it says robed iron armor. So you can actually make some heavy armor at the tanning rack here. The blacksmith shoes are light armor.
It's amazing how much work goes into the
And let's see, is there anything else? Light armor. Okay, so that's all of the light armor pieces that we can make strictly from leather. And so I think I might work on the tent. I might try to get that together so that we'll have a place to stay. Just a small one for now. We can make a leather one or a fur one. I think we'll stick with the leather one, because that just takes 8 leather and 12, 8 leather strips and 12 leather. So we're not far off from being able to do that already. Now let's see one more thing before I leave here. What can we make? We can make some pouches. We can make a leather hood. The leather hood is not an armor piece, it's just clothing as well though, so I'll probably skip that. We've got the mod, I can't remember the name of it, it's like belt pouches and bandoliers, I believe. So we have all these different ones that we can make little pieces of armor that will add to our carry capacity. It's really cool. We might do this instead of using backpacks, because the backpacks can look kind of weird sometimes, depending on your bow and your arrows and things like that. And then let's see, we can make a hide travel cloak as well, but I'm sure along our journeys we're probably going to find some stuff like that. So I'm probably not going to waste the leather on making that. So before we go though, let's just pop in real quick and see if there's anything valuable that we can make with what we have just on our person. So we've got we can make a Cyrodiilic iron bow. That's pretty cool. Highwayman mail armor, barbarian armor, ranger hood. That might be something that we could look at for when we go out riding. We might need a riding hood, which would add a headpiece to our light armor. And I think there is a perk for light armor that if you're wearing all pieces, you get a bonus. So we might take a look at that. And then let's see. Some of these are pretty cheap actually. Not too expensive. Anything that's kind of in the less than $100, 100 gold range, 100 septum range, I probably won't put too much into crafting those. I want to craft more valuable stuff so that we can sell it for more money, basically. I like this. This is nice. Cyrodiilic iron sword. This is definitely something like what I believe that Artorius would have learned to craft back in his time as an apprentice back in Cyrodiil. So, and also I noticed that the dagger here, the Cyrodiilic dagger, I think this is a dagger that Artorius might be more interested in crafting for experience. It's the same recipe as the regular iron dagger, but it has the added bonus that it is Cyrodiilic. And we're Imperials, and we are an Imperial blacksmith. So let's see, we've got ranger boots, and a hide helmet, hide shield, an iron scimitar, and as we go down the list, it's just getting cheaper and cheaper stuff. But some of this stuff is pretty cool looking. There's an iron tonto. I don't have any steel. Here's a mortar and pestle. This you can use. It's like a mobile mortar and pestle. So you can do alchemy while you're out and about. That's definitely something that we probably would be interested in doing, so that we don't have to have an alchemy table. And then we can make some of these iron fittings, hinges, nails, and some of the crafting recipes, as you saw, the blacksmith's boots required nails. So we will be using this for armor recipes and things like that, not just for the Hearthfire mod, or Hearthfire. I hesitate to call it a DLC. But anyway, yeah, so I'm just looking through here, and it looks like if we wanted to make a statue of Debella, it would take us 3 gold bullions, and the value would be about 15,000 septums. So I don't even know how you would sell that. I certainly don't know of any merchants that are wealthy enough to purchase that. However, I bet you if you get your reputation up with the market stall, I bet you could find somebody to buy this from you, and maybe even get more than 15,000, which is one of the cool things about the market stall mod. It's very annoying because it takes so much time. You have to kind of like just sit around and almost AFK for a long time to get your reputation up. But once you do, people come by your market stall pretty often, and I don't know if I've actually showed you guys what that looks like yet. So let me just grab it. I put it in our wagon storage over here. And it's right here, and I'm just gonna toss it down on the ground so you can see. I probably won't put anything in it, so let me find a relatively flat spot, like right over here. Yeah, I'll just back up against this and drop it. So it works kind of like the other stuff. You just drop it right out of your inventory. Just, you know, hit R, and it'll set it up on the ground. And this is not a very flat area. You can see that chest sunk into the ground, but it's based on the location of the chair. So if you find a nice flat area, there's a chair and a chest and a rug. And the stuff that you put in here, if I put something in here, like let me just put anything. Let me put some blue mountain flowers and fire salts and a goat hide, and let's see, some juniper berries. That's good. And if you put those down, when you sit in the chair, you get options. So you can set your merchandise. This will open the chest from this menu. For prices, I recommend that you negotiate. That actually helps get your speech level. It helps level your speech. But if you want to, you can actually go always average or always 10% off will help get your reputation up early on, and then as you progress you can move up to average and then higher as possible. That allows you to actually AFK if you want to. So you can just set 10% off, and then I'll just show you how that works. Set 10% off and then hit open store. You'll sit down here. Now you got to be careful. I don't necessarily want to sell this stuff right now, but you can see the items have actually spawned, some of them, onto the thing here. And if someone tries to buy something from us right now, we won't be able to negotiate with them, so I don't want to do that. But they would just walk up, and if they like something, they'll buy it, and they'll give you money and walk away. If you want, and like I said, I recommend always negotiate each item, because then if somebody walks up, it gives you a chance to bargain with them. And I almost always recommend never accept the very first thing they offer, and sometimes even the second thing. I usually try to at least haggle with them twice, and you will level your speech pretty quick if you do that. But if I were to just sit here for a while with these items, probably not right now because there aren't a lot of people in this area, but I bet you this guard will probably proc and for the script that's running for this, and he'll walk over at least and start taking a look at what we have. Alright, well, it's starting to rain, and I think that's our cue. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up the stall here, and it puts all of the items, when you do this, back in your inventory. You just hit dismiss, so you'll get the market stall, and all of those items went back into my inventory, so no worries at all. And it's really, the weather is starting to pick up, guys, and I don't even have a hood or anything, so I don't want to be out here in the wet and end up getting a cold. So I'm going to go ahead and call it there. This is Artorius the blacksmith. I'm see you later, and I'll see you later, guys. Bye bye.